little chair yoga. If you would, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and turn Alexa on by saying, Alexa, play spa music. If she didn't turn on with my voice, would somebody repeat that for me? So she turns on, her blue light should be turning on, her green light should be turning on. If it turns red or nothing happens, would you please make sure she is plugged in? Thank you. We're gonna start by just taking and moving our hips square in our chair, maybe pulling your shoulders back away from your chair, extending your spine up nice and tall. Take those shoulders, breathe in, pull it up, release it down. Breathing in, release. Breathing in, release. Breathing in, release. Two more here, just kind of rolling those shoulders, doing a little movement here, and hold it down. Now we're gonna turn and look to the side, come back to center, turn, look to the side. Let's add our breath here. Take a nice deep breath in, breathe out, turn and look, breathe in, and then turn and breathe out, and breathe in, and out, and breathe in, and out. Two more times here. One more here on each side, you're doing great. And hold it at center. Let's go ahead and walk those hips forward. And we're gonna pull one knee up to our chest, pull the other knee up to your chest, and then try to pull both knees up and balance. Think about just pulling one leg up, and then the other leg up, and both legs up. Excellent. Again, one, then the other, and both. This time trying to get your toes up a little higher. Release it. Lift, lift. Hold them both up a little higher if you can. This next one, we're gonna try and hold it up there. Are you ready? Here we go. Hold it up. Lift it if you can. Extend those legs up if you can. If your body starts to shake, you're making it work, you're doing it right. And when you're ready to release your hands, hold them out. Wherever, if it's not good for you, hold it here, that's fine. You can lean back in your chair, that's good too. Breathing, releasing, one more here. And drop it down, good. Go ahead and take your right leg over the top of your left. Bring those toes down beside your ankle. If you can, wrap them around, and then bring those hands together, elbows together. If you can, bring one arm forward, set the other arm in, touching the back of your hands, or if you're flexible, you can reach your palms together. Sit up nice and tall, take a nice deep breath in, raise those arms, feeling that stretch in the shoulders, and then release. Breathing in, and release. Two more here. Last one, breathe in, and release. And go ahead and untangle yourself. And we'll bring one hand behind your head, the other behind your back into cow's face. Trying to touch those fingers together, middle finger to middle finger. Breathing, pressing those elbows back, releasing, breathing, releasing. One more, and release it, and roll those shoulders up and back, and out. Excellent. Let's bring those hands to heart center. Take a nice deep breath in here. Release, press those palms, squeeze those fingers. One more, breathe in. And this time as you breathe out, elbow to knee. You can do same elbow, same leg, or opposite elbow to opposite knee. And then look at those hands, pressing them down, trying to flatten those hands together, and even those thumbs, squeezing them all together tightly. Hold it here for 2 more breaths. One more breath. And come back to center and roll those wrists around and around. Go ahead and take that left leg up and over. Squeeze those toes down by the ankle. Wrap it around here if you can. Bring those hands together, elbows together. If you're flexible enough, bring your left arm forward, right arm in, wrapping those hands around, and take and breathe in, reaching up, releasing it out. Feeling that stretch in those shoulders. Only go as high as it feels good for you. Breathing in, release. One more. And untangle yourself. And let's do that cow's face, taking that left arm behind your head, right arm up your back, and squeeze those fingers together. Pressing back, breathing in, releasing. Breathing in, release. One more. And this time, release as you breathe out and roll those shoulders up and back. And let's bring those hands to heart center. And this time we'll bring the other elbow. So the right arm goes to the left side or same side, whatever works for you. Pressing those palms down, pressing those fingers, raising that elbow up to the ceiling. Breathing, releasing. Looking at those hands. Feeling that stretch. One more here, deep breath in, release, and come back to center and roll those wrists around and around. And let's go ahead and come up to standing. You've got 2 chairs here, one beside you, one behind you. Take that one behind you to the side. Excellent. And we're going to take and start in our mountain pose. So we're going to hold our feet about hip width apart, pressing into those heels, pressing into those toes. Strong legs up, squeezing those glutes, softening those knees. If you were to lock your knees and unlock them, that's a soft knee position. Turn those palms forward, squeezing those shoulder blades back, and create space between your ribs and your hips. Velcro your head to the back wall. Hold here, just breathing in and out. If you choose to close your eyes and challenge your balance on your own 2 feet, go ahead, but know that at any time, if you need to touch your chair, go ahead. Breathing in and out. One more. In and breathe out. Open your eyes if they're closed and rest your hands on your chairs. We're going to move into our crane pose. So you can lift up, same arm, same leg, breathing in, release it out. You can do opposite arm, opposite leg. And when your balance feels stable enough, you can do both arms and one leg. Breathing in, releasing, breathing in, releasing, alternating legs, again, alternating arms. Excellent. Try to flow your movements and your breathing together. More here on both sides. And hold it down. Bring those hands together into heart center. We're going to shift to the right, coming up onto those left toes. Turn that knee out and walk those toes in towards that ankle. If your balance is good enough to pull those toes up off of the floor, feel free. But if any time you need a little more stability, drop those toes. You've got your chairs here, so anytime you need to hang on to them, feel free. If you're comfortable, go ahead and find the position you like, balance for a little more stability, and then take a nice deep breath in, reach up to that tree pose, release into heart center. Again, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and out. One more. Release it all the way down. Hang on to those chairs, bring that knee forward, and step back into warrior one. Pressing through those hips, reaching those arms up to warrior one here. Again, hanging on at any time if you need a little bit more stability. We're gonna breathe in this position, and we're gonna breathe out coming into warrior three. Hang on to those chairs, lift that leg. And when you need a breath in, drop back to warrior one, reaching up. Breathe in. If your balance is okay, breathing out, warrior three, holding one or both hands at heart center. Back to warrior one, breathing in. Breathing out. And in. Again, use those chairs for stability if you need them. Flow that movement and breath together here. Breathing in, up, breathing out. Again. Last one. And hold it up. Lift up that back heel, turn that back foot out, and drop one arm forward, one arm back into that warrior two. So you want to line up that front foot with your back heel. Okay, I'm going to face you here. Drop that knee, bending that front knee, keeping your back leg straight. That front knee should line up right over that ankle, and you're reaching here. This is warrior two. If you need to spread your feet apart, go ahead. Sink down into those hips, and then we'll breathe in, straighten that front leg, breathe out, sink into that warrior two. Breathing in and out. Flow the movement and breath together. Last one. Hold it here. Good. We're going to bend that arm in and down, reaching up and over. Release it to reverse warrior. Breathing in and reach up and over. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Excellent. Flowing your movement and breath together. And last one, breathing out. And in and come back to that warrior two. We're going to straighten both legs, reach forward, drop down towards your knee or your shin, and slide it down, reaching that other hand up into extended triangle pose. If you're flexible, you might be able to reach your ankle or even the floor. If not, come into it as far as it feels good for you. Feeling that stretch in the back of that leg and maybe in the back of that hip. And just hold and breathe, looking down. If at any time, drop that hand that's reaching up to your chair if you need it. And breathe. One more breath. Slowly come up, drop those hands down, and turn that toe towards the side of your chair. We're going to walk those hands back against your hips, squeezing those elbows, looking up into a modified camel pose. And we'll just rock from side to side, feeling that stretch in those hip flexors. reaching towards your knees or your chair into that flat back position. If you have no known back problems and it feels good for you to slide down, reaching towards your ankles, go ahead. And if you want a little more stretch, release to the floor, dropping and releasing your head and your neck. Feel free to nod it. Shake it no. Back to nodding. Shake it no. And bend at the knees. Drop those hips and stack one vertebrae on top of the other and step between those chairs again. Excellent. We're going to come into our curtsy pose, taking that right leg back to that left corner. Curtsy, come together, and we're going to squat into chair pose. And then we'll go to the other side. Left foot to the back right, curtsy, come together into chair. Are you ready? Hang on and use those chairs for support as needed. Curtsy back, together into chair. And curtsy back, together into chair. Excellent. Curtsy, chair, curtsy, chair. One more here on both sides. Fabulous. And release it up and bring those hands to heart center. We have the other side to do. So go ahead and bring those feet about hip width apart. Shift to the left, coming up onto those right toes. Walk those toes in. Hold it up if your balance allows. If not, feel free to drop those toes down and know you can hang on to the chairs at any time. Reach up, breathe in, release, breathing out. Tree pose, back to heart center. Two more here. Take a nice deep breath in. One more. And release those hands to your chairs. Bring that knee forward and step back to that warrior one. Reaching those arms up as you breathe in. And then breathe out. Hang on to your chairs. Lift that leg to warrior three. Drop it down. Reach up, breathing in, breathing out, release to the chairs and left. If your balance allows, feel free to hold one hand at heart center, or even both, if your balance is pretty good and you've been doing this for a while. Know that you can hang on at any time. And just flow, breathing in. Breathing out. Two more. Last one. And come up. Lift up that back heel. Turn it out into that warrior two. Feel free to widen your stance here if you need. Lining that front foot up with your back heel. Reaching one arm forward. One arm to the back, squeezing those shoulder blades, looking at your fingers. That front knee is bent, your back leg is straight. We're going to breathe in, straighten that front leg. Breathe out, hinge deep into those hips. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in and out. One more here. Hold it down and turn that front hand. We're going to lift up to that reverse warrior and then breathe out. Bring that arm down or your hand down, reaching up and over to that side angle. Breathing in, reverse warrior. Breathing out, side angle. Breathe in, breathe out. Again, at any time if you need to hang on to that chair, you are welcome to do so. And just flow with your breath, breathing out, breathing in. reach forward, drop it down, reaching for that knee, sliding it down your shin if that feels good. If you're really flexible, you might be able to touch your ankle or reach for the floor. But go into it as far as it feels good for you, and at any time, hang on to that chair. Releasing back up, looking down, breathing, feeling that stretch along the back side of that leg in the front, and maybe in your hip on that back leg. Breathe, you're doing excellent. And slowly come on up, coming back. And we're gonna drop those arms, turn that front toe towards the side of your chairs. Walk those hands back, squeeze those elbows, and rock those hips from side to side. Breathing in and releasing it naturally. Just feel that stretch. And this time we're gonna hold it steady, look up, squeeze back, breathe in. And as we breathe out, we're gonna release towards our knees, hanging onto that chair in that flat back position, if that's comfortable for you. If you're getting a good enough stretch here, just hold it. If you want a little more of a stretch, you might be able to release down to your ankles or even the floor, releasing your head and your neck. Nodding yes, shaking no. Again, yes, and no. Go ahead and drop those hips down and slowly stack one vertebrae on top of the other, coming back to the middle here between your chairs. We're going to do a half moon pose with the support of our chairs here. So we're going to reach one arm down, one arm up, and when you're ready, lift that leg. Use that to support, and then we'll come back to center and shift to the other side. Slide down that chair, lift that leg, reach up, and come back. Are you ready? Let's add our breath. Take a breath in, and release. And breathe in, and release. And just flow your movement and your breathing together. And when you get pretty well balanced, you can always modify this into a crescent moon, releasing off the chair when you're ready, of course. This is your first time, maybe don't attempt that, unless you're really balanced and you've done yoga for many years. Excellent. Let's do one more here on both sides. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and out. And come back. And let's pull that chair behind you. I'm going to turn them so that you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to sit at an angle. So sit square on your chair. Make sure to reach back when you sit down. We're going to step the left leg forward, bring that right leg up, and we're going to walk that knee out and slide our fingers down our shins, thinking about bringing our nose to your toes. If it feels good, you can drop your head to your knee. Sometimes that puts a little too much pressure on the neck or the back of the spine, so if that doesn't work, just lean forward. Hold it here and breathe, feeling that stretch. If your knee is not straight and you're going like this, trying to bend, let's focus on straightening that leg and holding your spine tall. Okay? We're working on that flexibility and that hamstring. So if this is giving you plenty of stretch, just hold it right here. All right, come on up, and we're gonna turn and look over that bent knee, bring that arm up, and tip it over, reaching towards those toes. If you imagine a nice, beautiful rainbow connecting your toes and your arm together. You don't have to touch, just connect it with that rainbow. Breathing, releasing, and go ahead and release it back up. We're going to heels together, toes together, trying to straighten those knees. And we're gonna come into staff pose, breathing in. Breathing out, forward fold. Hold it here for another breath in. And out. Walk it up. And let's bring your other leg down to the ground. Slide down your shin. Again, thinking about bringing your nose to your toes. If it feels good, head to knee. Again, if you're struggling with keeping that leg straight, it starts to bend. You're gonna try and hold your spine up and hold that knee, trying to hold it straight out. We're all at different levels with flexibility, so find where you're at and work through it. Good. Now go ahead and slowly come up. Turn and look over that bent knee and reach that arm up, tipping it over again, connecting with that rainbow from your arm to your toes. Breathing, releasing. And go ahead and release that arm. Let's bring both legs back on top, heels together, toes together. Sweep it up into that staff pose. Breathe out into that forward fold. Again, reaching if your knees is as far as you can. If you can reach your ankles, your toes, or even beyond. Find what feels good for you. Hold it there. And release it back up. And let's bring those feet sole to sole. Tucking those heels in, moving that chair a little closer, and allow your knees to open. You can hang on to your ankles, you can hang on to your toes. If this is really stressing your hips out, hold around and just kind of cradle it, supporting it. For those of you that have hip replacements, this might be super intense, so if you need to, take one leg and just extend it out, or hold it nice and wide if that feels okay. But if it doesn't feel good, it's not a good exercise for you. All right, go ahead and breathe in now, lengthening your spine, releasing. One more breath. And then I'm going to have you come into the most comfortable position. For some of you, it might be crisscrossed. For some of you, it might be your legs straight out, or even your feet on the ground. Allow your hands to open, coming at the end of your knees or together in your lap, whatever works best for you. Extend your spine tall. Think about breathing in, and as you breathe out, close your eyes and think about all the things you're grateful for today. Think about all the things that could make your day totally amazing. If one thing could happen to you today to create that most amazing feeling, what would it be for you? Nothing could hold it back. Nothing could get in its way. Whatever it is, would make your day totally and utterly amazing. Let's bring your senses into it. What are you seeing? Colors? Are you indoors or outdoors? Do you smell anything? Are you tasting anything? What do you hear around you? Are you touching anything or anyone? let's end today by thinking of a word or a phrase that inspires you, motivates you, or maybe it's something you strive for. Turn that word or phrase into an I am statement and repeat it 4 more times. I am patient. I am loving. In case you needed a little help. Go ahead and wiggle those fingers, wiggle those toes, open your eyes as you bring your legs together, help them down to the floor, sitting up tall. Take a nice deep breath in, release it out, smile, and thank you for showing up today. Thank you for doing this video all the way to the end with me today. May you go